Party people in the place to be, live from 58 Dream Street. We're James of the Games. Diving back in after a 1 week hiatus while I was moving to Ultima 6, the False Prophet. Don't know exactly where I'm going to be when I load this save game, but I know where I'm going. North. We're going to head back past you, maybe check out the Shrine of Justice, see if we're any more capable of dealing with the gargoyles there. See if maybe we can find that Enchantress. Totally 42! Hello! Your first ever chat here. Welcome. I will tell you right now, you see that subscribe button? Not gonna front. Not gonna lie. You will get almost nothing if you subscribe. But you do get subscriber emotes. Except the 5 subscriber only emotes are the other folks who play Friday Night Forgotten Circles with me. I'm pretty sure you get my own face for free on this chat. Hello, Waffle Syrup. Welcome back. Glad to have you. Boom! Yeah, there it is. The custom emotes. You gotta go to tier 2 to get Robert. And nobody will recognize his face because Robert never shows up for Friday Night Forgotten Circles since the birth of his son. And fair enough. Fair enough. I'm not bitter. Not upset. I'm glad you like the new setup, Waffle Syrup. We've got eventually, I'm going to get a camera setup that isn't just putting the camera on the laptop. Maybe we'll see a bit more of the room. But this office is coming together after the move. It's looking pretty nice. Of course, the beautiful yellow bookshelf behind me is currently basically empty. But here's a pretty good gimmick. There's one book on it. Marie Kondo's The Life-Changing Art of Tidying Up. So you can see that I really took the lessons of that book to heart. Pared down what I'm going to keep on my shelves here. No, I'll eventually unpack the other books. All right. It's enough opening episode babble. Waffle Syrup, I'll catch you up real quick. Some major developments in Star Control 2 yesterday, including I successfully initiated the Yehad Civil War before the Pekunk get to go there and commit suicide. The Pekunk are on their way there and I'm out of chances to stop them. So now I just got to hope that either A, the Yehad Civil War prevents the genocide of the Pekunk, or the Pekunk, what am I looking for here? Or the Pekunk just don't get there fast enough and the war is over by the time they get there. Either way, I think I've saved the Pekunk. And then the really big thing that I've achieved is that I figured out, you might remember the Cyrene, the sexy lady aliens who are currently under a slave shield and we're not willing to, maybe if you had some motivation for us, but we don't want to risk what we have here by joining the fight. I figured out what motivation they needed, which was we had to go to that sample that I found in the ruins. Hello, Koodles. We'll be playing Ultima 6. You know what? Let me fire up the game and then I'll keep talking about a game that we're not playing right now. So I'm just firing up the old DOSBox app for Ultima 6, the False Prophet. Hang tight a moment. We're going to have to do some volume adjusting here. Whew, that's too loud. Too loud for me, anyway. Yeah, that's a bit better. And then I'll turn it down a little for the folks at home. Let me know if that audio balance isn't working for anybody. So went to the ruins of Syra, the original Cyrene planet, which I had done on the first attempt too. Recovered samples of some giant fungus that had erupted through the crust of the earth there. And that's as far as I had got in this chain last time. This time, I went and I found the fungus aliens, the Mycon, and I followed their chain to the point that one of them explained to me what those remnants were. And once I knew what the remnants were, that gave me a new dialogue option where I could explain what I had already in my own mind deduced to the Cyrene, which is that your planet didn't die in a natural catastrophe. It died because the Mycons grow their giant children, which they call deep children, burying them in the British Hail arcade bar. Totally, that sounds awesome. And absolutely, if I'm ever able to go anywhere, if I'm ever not working 12 months a year, that's the dream. Glad to have you here, British. Okay, let me finish talking about Star Control 2. Once you let them know that, oh hey, The Mycon actually deliberately destroyed your planet by growing one of their children in it and shattering the crust of the planet. Now the Cyrene are fired up. We have a quest line where we need to find where the Urquan have stored the remaining Cyrene ships. As soon as we find that, we're on fire. And then as soon as that quest line opened up, it's too warm in here. As soon as that quest line opened up, I was able to unlock a memory of my own, which is that when reading about the game as a young person, I did read about this quest chain existing. To get these people on side, you have to find the secret location. No spoilers in that memory, because I remembered already knowing, deja vu style, but it's all coming together. I don't know if I'm going to win on this go, but maybe. We'll see what happens. But enough about that. We're not out in the wider galaxy. We're in another dimension entirely. I'm not Captain James. I'm Avatar James. So here we go. Firing it up. And here, the Avatar and his friends. Oh, gotta get my numpad, which I set aside. Here we go. Let's journey. I know that I want to go north. I don't know exactly where I am by any means. In fact, no, you know what? It's not even a point in gimmicking the gem. Let's just head north, and when we find something to the north, we'll know where we are. As long as we're on the road, we're going somewhere, right? Hey, a traveler. Oh, are we heading past? Are these the travelers, the prostitute travelers? I think they might be. But let's see what they've got to say. Yeah, it's Wanda. We see a traveler wench, a Roma wench, with a voluptuous figure. Nothing about this, the extremely angular face portrait makes me think voluptuous. That's okay. No, I'm not, Wanda. Afraid of what my mother might think? That's part of it. That's definitely part of it. I would not want my mother to know about any of the interactions that we have, Wanda. Bye. Yeah, if I ever decide that, of course, this game, although it was willing to get a little racy by introducing prostitutes, we have tested it. There is no taking these services option, which, you know what, is fine. Like, if you tell her you're down, nothing happens. And I'm okay with that. I'm not playing this game for titillation. Mammoth! Ooh, new thing. All right. I do check my Facebook, so I'll see that at some point soon. Probably won't do it right now while I'm on the air, of course. But here we are. All right, passing through pause. I've got my bearings. What do we need to do? What's important right now? We've liberated 2 shrines. We've leveled up some characters. You know what? I think it's just, we're going to you first. We're going to see if we have grown in strength and skill enough to contend with the gargoyles at the Shrine of Justice up there. And then, if we haven't, we'll carry on to Minoc. On the way, I did get a tip from Empath Abbey about a Enchanter who lives east of Empath Abbey between 2 rivers. So if we can track that particular character down, we'll see what's going on there. That's okay, Koodles. One day you will have a day off at the same time that I'm streaming. Probably not. My parents were nurses, so I actually have the inside scoop on this. Your life is ruined. You made a terrible decision, my friend. Thank you. Thank you, Koodles. Take care. I wish you the best of luck, with like the health of your patients and just your own physical fatigue. Yeah, a nurse with 2 children. There's no such thing. There just isn't. But hey, this is the life you chose, my friend. Nobody forced it on you. Alright, here we go. Where am I? What have I done? What town have I arrived in? Are these just amenities around Empath Abbey? Oh, did I wander right into Britain? Oops. We're in Britain. Back to the road. We're going to camp by the road. The Avatar and his companions, heroes of Britannia, are a little cheap. So if we can avoid paying for an inn, we avoid paying for that inn. Another nice thing when we pass through U is that in U we have finally found a shop that purchases enough items that we can sell some of the stuff that we get off trolls and such. So alright, we're going to try camping down. In the outskirts of Britain, we often get attacked by gremlins while we're sleeping, but we're going to take a chance. We're going to see if we can do it. I'm going to rest for a solid 9 hours. Man, I wish I could just punch in that I wanted to get 9 hours of sleep and then get it. And then, who's going to guard? We know who's going to guard. Shamino. Actually, you know what? Iolo's in good condition. And maybe you can play us a song, a lullaby. Iolo, buddy, you're on guard duty. Took us a moment there to pathfind our way around the fire. He played us to sleep. He's letting us sleep. The time is passing. We woke up. We're feeling good. We all had something to eat. Doesn't get any better than that. Let's celebrate by saving the game. We're all healed up. Not all healed up, but in good condition. We healed some. Whoops. Should find my way back to the road. Trust the paths. You know, Lord British had all these roads made for a reason. And we want to head west this time. So there should be a fork in this road somewhere. Or alternately, I've bypassed the fork entirely. I think I have while I was wandering. So there's some jerk around here. He's not very friendly. We don't need to stop and talk to him right now, because I don't have any clue what I could motivate him to do or to say. British, tell me more about that game you were mentioning yesterday that you were playing. It's in early access. It sounds promising. I know it had a name that was, I think it had 2 words together. They were both S words concatenated into a single word. Stone shard. There. Boom. Memory. Alright. Right now, add stone shard to my things folks have told me about list. And we're trotting along. Overland travel, brisk as ever. Pardon me. We hear something in the southeast, and we're hearing sound effects too. It's probably a cyclops. Can't hurt to do the citizens a favor. Everyone's safer on the roads when there aren't roving cyclopses. But the extremely narrow viewing window does make this a little... There we go. Success. Okay. So, right off the bat... So, a handling of the interface similar to Ultima, except it's being made now. So they didn't squeeze it down into a tiny little thing. Here's the thing, Mammoth Ego. I agree with your point, but the roving cyclopses... let's try this. Excuse me, sir. No response. Okay. Can we say hello? You know what? He's not attacking us, so I feel bad about this, but we are going to kill him. Because often the cyclopses do attack, and they're very large. And if I wasn't an armed band of adventurers, I'd be very intimidated by this. The citizens of Britannia have enough going on. Just trying to cope with the gargoyle invasion. They don't need to be harried on their way to work by a cyclops. Grazed him. Good shot, I guess. Iolo. Jana, I believe, is armed with a boomerang. Yep. And she got a good hit there. Good shot, Jana. Iolo again. Heavily wounded. I feel a little uncomfortable with the fact that this Cyclops isn't taking turns. But it is what it is, I guess. Okay, he's dead. He didn't put up a fight. So maybe that wasn't the most virtuous kill that the Avatar and his companions have ever locked down. But what are you going to do? Shimino, buddy. Get in there. See what you can find. Whoops, not search. Look. Two-handed hammer, scale mail, and a chest. Opening the chest, ham, and some gold coins. Very nice. Alright. Pick it up, Shimino. Shimino gets the money. Shimino gets the ham. Shimino moves the chest to, oh, no. Hold on. Can we move the chest from a diagonal? No. We have to literally pick up the chest. Can Shimino get the chest? He can. Now, can Shimino drop the chest? Of course he can. I gotta believe that he can. There. A little clumsy. One day, I'm fairly confident that in Ultima 7, the most interface will be advanced enough that I could just have dragged that chest to put it down. But, here we go. Shimino can't carry anymore. So we'll pull him back, and we'll send Big Tough Dupre in. He's got lots of room in his inventory for more stuff. So he'll get the thing and the two-handed hammer. And that's everything. Back to party mode, and the Avatar leads the way back to the road in the north. Very good. Definitely have to look into this stone shard. Oh man, another Cyclops. I hope this one is violent. Well, at least he knows that he has the ability to move. Do you hate us, man? Are you gonna hurt us? There. He tried. He failed, but he tried. We can kill him now. There. All we had to do was bother him until he said, hey, stop bothering me. And then that's aggression. And we're morally in the clear to kill him now. Right? That's how ethics works. Get Jana out of there. Shimino takes a grazing blow. Dupre gets to the front lines. And we're ready to make war on the Cyclops. Cyclopses. Why does the Avatar have bare hands? Because I was casting spells. Well, I guess we'll see if the game punishes us, right? That's the final arbiter of virtue, is whether you get in trouble for the things you do. Anything you're allowed to do is okay. That's how morality works, right? So, can I... No. Oh, jeez. Right, because I'd already selected attack. Okay. The Avatar is not playing a major role in this battle. Critical. Critical. Still critical. Okay, now the Avatar can remove the book, spell book, take up his arms, and finish it off. Alright. Whew. Done all. Gotta do all the work around here. Oh, whoops, not party mode. Shimino, you know your role. Lifting up the loincloth of the dead Cyclops so that we can find out that he was carrying scale mail that he couldn't possibly wear because it's human-sized. Okay, no. Alright, we're done Cyclops hunting for the day for exactly the ethical concerns that we've raised. And just because they don't put up enough of a fight. Which is another way in which it makes me uncomfortable to butcher them. I gotta turn my speakers down a little bit more. I like this music, but next weekend I'm gonna start being responsible, put the headphones on, and eliminate the problem of the music doubling up for everybody when it's getting captured by my microphone. Today I moved the microphone further away. Fortunately, I think as long as I keep up a steady stream of babble, which I'm quite capable of doing, I should be able to largely drown that out. Crush the echo effect, I hope. Here's something to the east, do ya? We're just gonna let it slide, buddy. So, like, Shimino, we can't just kill every single sound that you hear. And I think this sign just tells me that Iolo's hut is nearby. Iolo's place. So, let me look at the map for a moment, because I want to think about where this enchanter might be. East of Empeth Abbey, and between two rivers. So, probably going to be fairly close to Iolo's place. But let's find it. Dun 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 dun. Awkward time to be listening to an anthem of imperialism. Although at least one thing we can say is that it's been repurposed. Here in this song, it's just punning on the fact that the world's called Britannia. There's no empire to be had in a scenario where we gotta go to war with the insects before they start stinging us everywhere. We will not be making any use of ammunition. So Iolo will be passing his turns. Oof. Okay, sorry, Blaine. Killed those insects. Oh, these are the bees. Alright, no, stop. It is not the right thing to do to kill this man's bees. Those are domesticated bees. Alright, so now we're checking to the east. I want to move. Gotta move my... Get a view here so I'm seeing the map. Okay. If I've got this right, which I may or may not. Obviously, we can't travel through big trees. But I'm judging where I am correctly and interpreting the clue correctly and interpreting what kind of looks like a marking of an additional abode in the woods, then it's somewhere down in... Oh dear. Oh dear. We're under attack by something. What are these things? Only one way to find out. Oh, they're Reapers. The Reapers don't have as much personality as Ultima 6 Reapers. How are they as enemies? Well, we should find out by fighting them and seeing what happens. Well, thus far, this one got heavily wounded pretty quickly. And they're not wounding us that badly. They haven't even tried to cast a spell yet, though. And if they've got spells, things can get dicey. Well, let's find out. Shimino took a hit there. This is not promising. Looks like they summoned a lot of insects. It's an odd spell for them to bust out. But we'll deal with the insects next, because unless these are malaria-carrying insects, I'm less concerned about them than I am about the many Reapers. Okay, we got one critical. Insect round. Oof! Iolo lost the plot, shot Shimino in the back of the head. Shimino, distracted by that blow, fails to slay the Reaper. The Avatar missed too. Jana was using Iolo's crossbow bolt as her guidepost. She also nailed Shamino on the back of the head. Iolo's just glad that he's in the ranged part of the party now. So he's not the one, like in Ultima 5, taking all the shots to the back of the head. And also they're not coming from his wife. Okay. One Reaper down. We're taking damage, but we're not taking an alarming amount of damage. Jana with the kill. You can tell the difference between a live Reaper and a dead Reaper because the dead ones don't move. Little expert commentary on Reaper biology here. Okay, we gotta close the distance. Fortunately, you can occupy the same area as insects. You can be in the same thing. The only problem that creates is if you really want to swat those insects and they're on your friend and you're trying to swat them with a two-handed sword, it gets a little dicey. As a general matter, I always, if my friend says like there's a bug on you, first thing I say is, please don't try to get out with a two-handed sword. Oh, sorry Shamino. Wasted your turn. Whew, no. Why did Iolo auto-target the avatar there? Maybe some questions are better left unanswered. Just for the cohesiveness of the whole unit of the team. Okay, the avatar and Shamino have both been taken down underneath 100, but nobody's in real drastic condition here. Feel good about that. Oh, crossbow's out of bolts. I would have... Did I not wind up... I thought I did get bolts from the Fletcher. Maybe I didn't. Or maybe I forgot to hand them to Iolo. Someone else bought them. I'll figure that out. Gotta get this man a boomerang. Does he have one? Oh, he's got a bow. No boomerang. So let's get the bow out. Not that many arrows either. Do not think that I did successfully hit the Fletcher up. Heavily wounded. Love to see that. Blaine took a hit there. We do not want to get Blaine killed. We eventually want to send Blaine home so that we can have... Oh no, Blaine is charmed. Well, here's what I'll say. I'm grateful that the Reapers are kind of circumspect in how much they use their charming ability, because it is annoying when your friends are getting charmed, when your allies are working against you. But here we go. Dead Reapers form an obstacle because you can't really tell from this picture, but to picture what a Reaper is, picture like a stalagmite. Stalagmites are the one that come up from the ground, right? Oh no. Trolls lack... Uh-oh. You caught me, Beezy. I've been pretending to be the avatar all along. What do trolls lack? I know the answer to this. I mean, like, I'm failing to call it to mind. But I've heard the answer before. Wait. I remember now. I know the... Hold on. I'm answering this question. Excuse me, folks. Endurance. Yes. There. Boom. Let the record show I said that an instant before I was told the answer. Of course, I said it by looking it up in the answer to copy protection guide. So I was still reading the answer. Okay. Come on. So yeah, so a Reaper is like a mound of flesh that they're stationary. You can see they're not moving. So when you kill them, they're just kind of gone limp. So there's still a little column there. And so they create an obstacle, unlike bipedal monsters who die and then you can step over them. Attention to detail. Oh, some of the insects... I think some of the insects missed and killed their fellow insects, which is interesting. Alright, we're closing the gap on this last one. Blaine is getting in on the action for the bad guys. I wonder if Dispel Magic works on Charm. We'll find out. But I don't think that Blaine is enough of a threat for it to be worth dealing with prior to the slaying of this Reaper. Nice shot, Iolo. My goodness. Being sarcastic. That was not a good shot, Iolo. Reaper critical. And the Avatar brings it home. Okay. We gotta swat these flies. But let's... who's gonna do this? Who's gonna swat the flies? I think Jana. Alright. Really annoying to have so many insects to kill when it's hard to hit insects, but I will say that I'm grateful that the that our foes here went with my goodness. It is annoying to deal with insects. But the fact that they went with summon insects before charm, when they had charm, and when they used their charm, they're like, let's use the low level non-main character NPC and not one of the more powerful companions of the Avatar. Both of those things worked out in my favor. Oh, come on. Come on, Jana. How hard is it, after several days' experience wielding a boomerang, to throw it into a cloud of insects and hit every single one of them? If I'm being honest, I've never even managed to get a boomerang to come back to me. So, Jana's actually doing pretty good. Oh my goodness. You know what? Forget it. Live and let live. We'll just deal with the fly bites. There doesn't seem to be malaria in this game. Or any insect-borne plague. So, let's just search. Oh. Well, that Reaper was a disappointment compared to the Reapers of Ultima 5. So was this one. I'm detecting a pattern. Yeah, hang tight with the insects, gang. Just hang tight. They're not even doing 1 damage to you. You'll be fine. Don't sweat. Don't sweat it. You're gonna be itchy as hell tonight. Tonight and probably for a week or two. Aho! Alright, so Reapers are not no treasure enemies. That's good to know. My goodness. Is there a level 1 spell called Swat Flies? Because this is... It's not the most charming part of the game. By any means. Oh, we're getting that money. Is that all the dead Reapers? It is. Okay. Wait, no. Shimino doesn't need to escape first. Switch to party mode. Oh, Lord. Let's get out of here. Come on, team. Outrun the flies, if you can. Wait, we want to try to go south. Oh, my goodness. Did not hit the insects there. It does seem that charm in this game either has a very short duration or, I think more likely, is dependent on the charm caster still being alive. Either way, we've eliminated the very frustrating problems that Charm introduced back in Ultima 5. Oh my goodness. This is just... Is there a path? We'll find out in a moment. And if there's not a path down into those woods from right here, we're going to do what we can to get out of here. There's not. Okay, no path. No path in. We'll try again later to find this enchanter. Can we get out of here? How much non-bug bite flesh, non-bug bitten flesh can Blaine possibly have displayed on his body with his full jester juggler outfit? Be great if the characters would instinctively swat at the flies that are biting them, because we must have had enough opportunities by now to just, take a bite for the team, but also land some damage on the swarm. Oh my goodness, we're almost out. We're breaking away. Is this? No, this is probably just the southern edge of you. Oh no, these friggin' flies are gonna chase us all through the town forever. It's gonna be very sad. Just leave us alone. Is there a candle maker in you? Like, can someone sell me a citronella candle? Alright, yeah, this is you. Guards! This was Ultima Online. I'd be guard, guard, guard! Insta-kill those lousy insects. Okay. Let's try to kill them again. Just to get this over with. This is not good. This is not at all. I understand they made the insects really hard to kill because we're moving in an increasingly simulation sandboxy direction with the Ultima series. It doesn't make sense that you could use a martial weapon and easily hit a swarm of flies. This is not an important realism touch that the game needed. Just let me hit the friggin' flies and kill them. Alright, John is not even trying. We're running. We're just gonna run. What are you in the mood for, Beezy? I think I'm having Italian tonight. We've moved to the downtown. So we're breaking our Uber Eats habit, thus saving a ton of money in the extra $20 to $25 you spend just to get anything delivered. Because now, as a vegetarian, it's not my choice of food, and I don't think I ever had it during the part of my life when I was a carnivore. I know that my parents love it. The mutton. Oh, goodness gracious. Just leave us alone. This is intolerable. We cannot get anywhere. Okay. Okay. We have to kill the flies. Who has the highest dex? Probably Shimino. I mean, he's the ranger, right? No! Iolo has the highest dex. Of course, we're not using arrows. Okay. Sorry, Shimino. You're the ranger, though. You're on bug swatting duty. By the way, experienced Ultima players in the audience, if there's something I'm missing that makes killing flies a little bit easier, I wouldn't consider that a spoiler. If you told me about it. It would be the opposite of a spoiler. This is spoiling the game. Okay, Shimino got one. Got two. Looks like there's 3 swarms left. This didn't come up in like play testing. Nobody said like, hey, the insects add nothing to the game, man. Yeah, I'm not getting the true Ultima 6 experience, I guess. If I don't have to learn the secret. There's a whole quest chain that leads you to getting some bug spray. The avatar remembers, oh, I brought this bug spray from Earth. And I dropped it when I came through the portal. It's in Lord British's throne room. You gotta roll up the rug. Okay. Well, we're saving after that glorious victory. But okay, the solution, I guess, for now at least, to the flies is fairly straightforward. The answer is to pick someone with high dex and a melee weapon and have them smack those flies into submission. Now. Here's a place where we could sell some stuff, hopefully. So let's take a look and see what we can sell to our friend whose name I'm blanking on, but it'll appear under his portrait, so I don't mind that I'm blanking on his name. Utomo! Right, of course. A very distinctive character on account of being a sumo wrestler in this British kingdom. Humbago Sano. I would like to sell. The avatar will sell... no, I don't think I do want to sell those things. I think those are the things I'm wearing. Never mind, sir. But we still want to try to sell. Shimino has... well, the club for sure. Yep. And the dagger. More daggers. There we go. I don't think Shimino's wearing a leather helm, but I'm going to double check that before I sell it. Don't want to sell the headwear right off his head. What does Dupre got that he could sell? No, I'm not selling the swamp boots. Swamp boots are precious. What about Iolo? I gotta check our hats before I can sell. Before I can sell our headwear. What about Jana though? Yeah, sell the throwing axe, Jana. She's probably got a lot of them. We don't need limited... Oh, no! No. No, nothing else. Thank you, Tomo. Omdu Yaf. Yes, Omdu Yaf. To you as well, sir. Thank you for your assistance on this fine day. Okay, so... Neither Dupre, the Avatar... No, only Blaine and Jana are wearing leather caps, which means those of us who do have them can sell them. Omago Sano. None, sorry. None, sorry. Want this leather helm? Want this leather helm? No. Not selling my boots. You cannot have my boots, sir. I bought these boots from you because I needed them. No. Okay. Success. All right. Omdu Yaf. Oh, right, of course. Doesn't function as a goodbye. He explains it to me. I was trying to say goodbye to you, sir. Goodbye. Yes, Amduyaf. Very good. Might as well save after that. I think I want to go check out the... We shouldn't go today to the shrine because another night's sleep might be just the thing. Who's this? It's a villager. A lively soul of a traveler with a bit of a wild look to him. Confirmed. Successful alignment of description and portrait. This fellow looks wild. And hey, no judgment about the hair. It's the king. Wait, have I already spoken to the king? I don't think I have because this thing hasn't appeared, but I've heard about him. So what have I heard about him? Let me check my notes. Just a moment. He's the king of the travelers. Okay, sure, I knew that. That's all I knew about him. And he's telling me that himself. So I didn't really have a big lead on this guy. Let's find out what he can tell me. Yeah, so what does it mean to be the king? In this case. Yeah, king of the open road, of course. Well, what do you think about castles? Have you ever thought about getting a castle? Yeah, it can't be tied down to a single place. That makes sense. That's why we call you travelers. Free spirit. Oh my goodness. Sir, you're overloading me with keywords here. Your spirit is free, but your advice is not. But what is your advice? Tell you what, so in the mood, I'll only charge you 2 gold coins. Is it a deal? Yes. Tell you this. What will you tell me? What are you going to tell me, pal? I'm going to note... I'm going to write him... I'm going to add Zoltan to my spreadsheet. Although I suspect that he might not be tied to a specific location. But I guess we'll see how that goes as the game goes on. Powder kegs are useful for persuading... Okay, sure, thank you. Now, on the one hand, that is very intuitive real-life advice. It's good to have it confirmed that this game will allow me to blow a door with a powder keg. Powder kegs are helpful for blowing doors. Sound advice. Thank you, sir. Okay. What else do you have to say? Your spirit is free, your advice is not. You move like the wind. What of the wind? 4 winds, and they're travelers too. Okay. So you're a traveler. Ask any travelers for advice. I'll note that. That's helpful. And for what they have to sell. See and hear much, and occasionally happen across items of interest. Well, what do you have to sell? Yeah. Sell is the command for me to sell you things. No, okay. He sells reagents. I don't think I need reagents right now, sir, but I'm glad to know. Sells reagents. Add that to the list. Now we gotta... Okay. And you said you're a king. Castle's road. There we go. Road. Roads wander everywhere, just like a traveler. As your body wanders, so does your mind. Just now, I'm thinking of what you might buy from me today. Buy and sell, do the same thing for a traveler, it seems. None of us. But good to know that when we need reagents, Zoltan is another source. Of course, it might be tricky to track him down. It's cooling off in here. Grab my sweater, put it back on. It's the nice thing about a non-pullover sweater. Easy to go back and forth. Right. It's been terrific meeting you, Zoltan. What do you do? Yeah, as you said. Yep, that's true. Fair enough, you did say that. You're very clear. Do you know anything about runes? don't want to look at your reagents, but thank you for the offer. Take good care. Okay. Mildly obnoxious habit in this game for NPCs to toss another keyword at you as you exit the conversation. But such is life. You want to dance for me, buddy? Karina produces a fiddle from somewhere. Hold on. Even more so than the question of where the fiddle came from. Where is Karina? This narrow view window. She's probably standing very close to us. Okay. She begins to play a tune at a very high tempo. Dances a wild dance, leaping and capering about frantically. Zoltan kind of looks like the singer of that band. They call themselves a gypsy punk band. I can't think of their name. Chest glistens with sweat. Yeah, I'll give him some money. How much? That was good. I have 3 gold. Can't even put an exclamation point on that. I paid you more for your weird dance than I did for your useful information. But okay. Okay. Alright. Where's Karina? That's probably Karina. Now this is Tanith. I've already met Tanith, but not here. She's traveling. Where did I meet Tanith before? Let's find out. Before I met her in Pause. She's an acquaintance of Dr. Cat. She's told my fortune. To accomplish my ends, I must go down very far, then up very far, and I will not end up back where I started. Guessing this means, because also the tiles were Abyss, Mountains, Maelstrom. Some quest phase here involves getting to the Stygian Abyss. Some quest phase involves something at the top of a mountain. And then we got to travel to where these gargoyles came from, right? Something like that. We'll find out more as the time goes. All right. Oops. Sorry, Tanith, but I'm not looking to learn more from you today. Yeah, you did say that last time we met, and you've been proven right. But where's the fiddler? That's the real mystery. It's a child. She's poised on the verge of womanhood. No comment on whether the picture fulfills that for me. I will say I think it's generally not a thought that should run through an adult's mind at all. Just don't. If you need to consider whether there's a verge of womanhood here, just don't have those thoughts at all about the young lady that you're looking at. What's your name? Is it Karina? She's Karina. All right. Do I think it's a pretty name? Yes, but not like in that way. You're welcome. What do? Do you fiddle for the king? Father says I'm supposed to dance for Gorgios. Where are Gorgios? I mean, let's go in order here. Is your father the king of the travelers? Incredible. What do you think of being the daughter of a king? Do you call yourself a princess? You didn't when I... That's what he says. Hey, king of the road. Doesn't have a castle. Maybe not every king needs a castle. Oh, goodness. The other thing he said. Father said... Sorry, I didn't mean ob. Oh, yeah, you're supposed to dance? Not in front of so many people. That's okay. I didn't actually want you to dance. Coming back to this thing where you're a child. I mean, like, if you have a cute dance, that's great. But I've had some encounters with some of your people who make me worried that it might not be a cute dance that you're planning to do. How do you feel about people? You'd be embarrassed? How come? Yes. Unless this is really silly, in which case... So it's a dance of haunting beauty. Okay, great. It's not an inappropriate dance. It's the sound of music that seems to emanate from nowhere. That's cool. Why did you need to grab a fiddle then for Zoltan to dance? It's one of the most wondrous sights I've ever seen because of the choreography. For a timeless time, the music ceases and she turns and runs away. But she didn't actually, so we can finish the conversation. Hey, Karina. I see you're still poised on the verge of womanhood. But yeah, what are Gorgios? Oh, okay. That's okay. So you're a traveler, you say. Oh, you have a sister. What's her name? Penumbra. Have I heard any news of her? Well, let me check my spreadsheet, Karina. The avatar turns to Iolo. Iolo unrolls a large scroll. The avatar says, Shimino, do a quick find search. Oh, right, of course. I need to start asking all of these folks, all the travelers, for advice. In fact, I should go back to Taineth, too. Thank you, Waffle Syrup. I did just learn that. Now I got to do something. But, okay, Penumbra. I don't think I've heard anything about any Penumbra, and I haven't. But now, that's a note to make. So hearing you, although again, the travelers are going to travel, that's okay. We can search. And she concerned about her sister Penumbra. I'm afraid that I haven't. Absolutely. I will definitely let you know anything that I learn about Penumbra. Do you have any advice for me, young Karina? Oh, of course it's okay. What? Ha! Our dog, Kador, can do some tricks for you. That's fun. That's a fun name. Tell me what... Ah, yeah, you look sweet. What do you sell? Sell nothing. Great. It was lovely meeting you, Karina. And I hope that I encounter your sister somewhere. Hey, puppy. Let's see. Do you like if I say your name? Yeah, he does. Oh, what a good boy. He looks a little hungry. Or maybe he wants me to throw the bowl. You know any tricks? Looks at me expectantly. Yeah. Okay. Can I give? Woof woof. Sorry, buddy. I don't know how to feed you. But it was great talking to you. You're a good boy, Kador. Throwing down an intermittent save. So we also got to be on guard against glitches. I had that one experience where suddenly it was like we were on a boat, so I couldn't take any actions because it would just go, not on ship. Hey, Taineth. I've recently learned that you might have advice for me. Yes. Look through the books at the Lyceum. You might learn something useful there. Alright. I don't know that advice is worth 2 gold. When you're in the capital of knowledge in Britannia, go to the library and read the books and you might learn something. But okay. Have you ever been to the Lyceum? I will. Alright. Oh, what do you sell, Taineth? Oh, no. I'm not interested. Or I was, but you've done it for me. And like, if I pay you again and my fortune change, then I'm skeptical. Now, where did Zoltan get to? Gotta ask him about the Lyceum if I can track him down. There he is. Zoltan! Looking wild. I'm glad to hear you haven't been overthrown. What do you feel about the Lyceum? Zoltan, maybe I should have introduced myself. I'm the Avatar. I know where things are in Britannia. Tell me about Moonglow. Even if I didn't know these things already, I could have logically deduced. It's fine. See, that's a bi. His original statement was bi-conditional, so we didn't need that additional statement. But that's okay. All right, thank you for. I mean, nothing this time, but it's otherwise been a pleasure talking to you today. Head to the tavern. Maybe we can pick up some food. Who's got money? What is the food? The Avatar's got food and money. And not much space in his inventory. A little encumbered with all these potions and reagents. Okay, who else? Frey's not even carrying money. Shimino also doesn't have a ton of space, but we'll be able to free up space if we need to. We'll have Shimino buy the food. Oops. Alright, talk to the barmaid here. I think her name is Andrea. An enormous woman, both in size and personality. I know the type. Hello again, fellas! She screams as she strides over to us with beer mugs in her hands. Welcome to the slaughtered lamb. What can I get you? What an odd, yeah, you're serving mutton. And people like mutton. I know some people who are jonesing for some mutton as we speak, but still do you really want people specifically thinking about the adorable baby lambs being slaughtered? I don't know. This is a vegetarian thing. Maybe I just don't get it. All right. What can I get? Well, do you sell rations? Yeah, you do. Shimino, 4 gold apiece. We'll take 6. 24 gold. 1 each for the team. Shimino gets the rations. That'll do. She's winking at me. I don't exactly understand why they also decided to cover Andrea with warts and not mention them in the text. But it is what it is. Lovely talking to you. I'll be back. If I see that cutie Ultima. Oh yeah. Right. I haven't tried that. I haven't tried seeing what Ultima thinks about Andrea. Hopefully, this is not something disappointing and offensive. We're saying Andrea, I don't want Utomo to denigrate Andrea when I mention her. Omogo-sano. Utomo go and drink at her home. She tried to kiss Otomo. Otomo say, I no want you, but she kissed anyway. Otomo not go back there. What kind of kiss was this? Otomo have girl back home. Okay, alright. That's a totally fair reason to reject anyone's advances. I mean, she not thin like Andrea. Alright, well, good. My concern that Utomo was going to, say some fat-phobic stuff about Andrea, which would then also be kind of sexist, since obviously Utomo is a big guy himself, has not come true. Not too thin like Andrea. Someday you'll go back and get her. Someday. Plays the poker over the hot coals and looks absently into the fire. Ah, buddy. That's sad. I hope that that day comes. And if there's anything I can do to help advance that day, let me know. Omduyaf. And here we go. Alright. Let's go. Alright, I wanted to kill the day so that I could get some rest. I wonder if what's her face? The Lady Mayor. Have any new dialogue? Oh, she's not even. Oh, right. Her day's over. Sun's setting. In fact, pretty soon it'll be nighttime. So why don't I? If I find an inn before the sun sets, we'll stay in an inn like, affluent adults, which we are with all this gold. Oh, here's Tanith. Hey, Tanith. Is this your home? Is this just like a boarding house? Magically locked door. Someday, we'll learn the secrets of all these magically locked doors. There's Cador, the puppy dog. Here's a tailor. It's a race against time. If it gets too dark, I will just give up and go sleep in the dirt. And it's back to Shimino's turn to stand guard. Unless Janna's doing great, which she quite plausibly could be. Sorry, Janna. But you're on guard duty tonight, my dear. And that's the prison. And they're full up. They're not going to let us stay. This is Utoma's place. Get out here in the woods. And let's rest. 9 hours. And Janna's on point. Iolo plays a tune. We lay down. Janna stands stock still and looks in exactly one direction. We are ripe for an ambush from the south. Unfortunately, that didn't come to pass. Healed up. Everyone's in great condition. We are ready to go find out. Whoops. There we go. To go find out if we are indeed more apt to deal with those gargoyles. Dun, dun, dun. Gotta look at the map to remind myself exactly where I'm going. I'm pretty sure I know. Yeah, we gotta head north and east to get to the Shrine of Justice. So let's do that. Here's something. A whole bunch of gargoyles holding a shrine hostage. It's trolls. We know how to deal with trolls. Save your ammunition, my friend. Well, oh, there's another troll. On the one hand, to us, they're extremely feeble enemies who are easily killed. Trying to make it seem distasteful that we are killing them. But what we need to keep in mind is that we are not the only people who use these roads. We got to think about, those less powerful than us and what might happen to them. Wooden shield, leather helm, 27 gold coins. Not bad. Leather armor, coins. Very nice. You get the coins, Shimino. And Dupre can pick up the gear. He's a big tough guy. Oh, spoke too soon. I don't think Iolo is nearly encumbered. You can only get in the 4 cardinal directions. So we gotta come around like that. Okay. Successful combat. Oops. I know the problem that I'm causing myself. I'm hitting shift save instead of control S to save. And there's a dagger we didn't care about. We still don't care about it. Okay. Yep. This is the road that will take us there. So, let's save again. We're going to find out. Are we any tougher? Are we any readier for these gargoyles? Is the software itself any readier? Since we have had some issues. This is where we've encountered the weirdest glitches. Including one fight where it just didn't tell me, it wasn't telling me, wasn't keeping me apprised of the damage done to gargoyles. So even like one died, and I was just standing there hacking at its body like a nutcase while the other gargoyles still alive were killing me. Heavily wounded. Not only did we get a report, but we're doing great so far. Oops, that's not how I should have moved to pray. Alright, Iolo, you work on this other guy. Ah, you missed. But you tried, and we appreciate the effort. Blaine also, just kind of whiffing wildly. Okay. Oof. Iolo takes the fight to Shimino. Two of them heavily wounded. Okay, maybe Iolo needs some rest before he continues fighting. There we go. Still just heavily wounded though. Critical. Finish him off, Jana. Or not. No pressure. Hopefully we acquire another boomerang. We can equip Shimino. Or I mean not Shimino, Iolo. For when he runs out of ammunition. I get the feeling... No, I don't need a feeling. I can use the look command and actually be told what the damage potential of different weapons. My instinct tells me that maybe like a crossbow does more damage than a boomerang, but we'll see. Because if it doesn't, kind of negates the entire purpose of ever acquiring ammunition. Or using weapons that use ammunition. There! Blaine got the kill with a short-range boomerang shot. So that gargoyle thought that he was pulling something clever. He had broken through the line to attack one of the ranged fighters, only to get his own country, his own native signature weapon embedded in his own face. What a world. Alright. Iolo's on ammo conservation duty. It's working out really well for the team. The big guys, nah, not getting involved in this. I am eating. Leave me alone. This is what made this particular fight really hard before. Was just that none of us can hit these guys. There's a graze. Okay, fine. Use some ammo. Still just critical. Killed. Oh, I think I see... I'm not sure. I might have seen a big one encroaching on our space. Likewise, another one breaking through the lines. Step back, Iolo. Wow, Iolo got 2 actions in a single turn, or 2 turns in a row. This one's heavily wounded. That one's lightly wounded. It's just another small one coming. Is he in... He's not in boomerang range for Jana. Shimino was, though. Point blank shot, but he did not hit it hard. Oh, jeez. Sorry, Shimino. Wasted your turn. There we go. Another one heavily wounded. Another small one coming to join the fight. Still no sign of the big guys. If we can take out the small ones, regroup, maybe get Iolo a boomerang because he's going to run out of arrows soon, and then deal with the other ones separately, we'll be in good condition. We'll be liberating another shrine. Another one critical. Blaine. Whew. Blaine is a stone cold killer. He wanted to try out the adventure of his life, and it suits him real fine. Heavily wounded. Minoc takes one for the team, from the team. Critical. Rout him before he flees. The Avatar picks up the slaying credit for that one. Sorry, Jana. At least it was only a graze. A little, you don't need the upper part of your earlobe. You'll be fine. That's less important than your appendix. Okay. We've killed the advanced party. Here's the big guy. Alright, no regrouping. In fact, we've broken our combat lines. But that's okay. I think Iolo... Oh, jeez. Sorry, Shamina. Wasted your turn. Iolo might be a bit intimidated here. Because that was just... He didn't even try to hit this big guy. Wasted the Avatar's turn right there. Alright, Iolo is getting roughed up. He's out of arrows too. So, does Iolo have... I got a spellbook for somebody. I don't know if I've filled it with anything of value yet. Iolo's heavily wounded. Iolo's got to fall back. Right, on the Avatar's turn, let's heal. Let's heal Iolo. Success, but it was a pitiful little heal. So who cares that it was successful? Iolo is still the focus of our enemy's attacks. Why? Why do you insist on killing Iolo specifically? Just run, Iolo. Don't look back, buddy. Alright, this is going to be the problem. This big gargoyle is clearly dealing with some superior stats to the normal big gargoyles. The time that I killed it successfully, I think the gimmick was that it would be great if Blaine had the wisdom to step back here. But I think the time that I killed it successfully, it actually killed itself by using its area of effect attack on itself. And that might play out here. Although, again, it would be great if Blaine would get out of the way. Oh, whoops. Avatar attacking with bare hands. It's not what we want. Avatar equipped with a sword. Yeah, this big gargoyle is too tough for us. We've killed all his little buddies. Will we be able to flee if we try to flee? I don't know. Iolo has successfully fled. I suppose that's the idea. Gianna should start retreating too. Oops, sorry to pray. Wasted your turn. Yeah, we can't land a hit on this dude. Alright, let's try to retreat. Lead the way, Iolo. I don't know if the fleeing's gonna work. Alright, what spells does Iolo have? If indeed. No, Shimino has spells. Oof. What's in your little bag here? Oh, you could use a kitchen knife. Okay. Iolo. Just keep passing. Iolo's dead. Oof. I mean, if we can get away and resurrect Iolo, it'd be worth. Okay. I mean, that's the answer of killing this guy, is for him to use that attack and blow himself up. So if we can win the fight and then just go resurrect Iolo, all the better. We got to keep this guy cramped. Prey took a hit there, and he's heavily wounded now. We really don't want you to kill us with your melee. Please consider trying to kill us with an attack that also kills you. But obviously, if we can't get this guy to gimmick himself to death, then the only hope is to get better. We either need offensive magic, or we need to praise down. We'll play it out hard. No, come on, man. Use the big spell. But yeah, we can't hit him at all. So we either need to be much tougher so we can land hits, or we need offensive magic. Or just the good luck of him continuing to blow himself up with a long range attack. I don't think it's going to work out for us. Shimino's down. If only this guy hadn't shown. Okay, he hit himself, but he did not kill himself. And the avatar's down. Well, we tried. Let's load the save and not go there. Instead, I'll take a brief intermission to run to the washroom. Pardon me for that. And then we will head east towards Minoc, the city of sacrifice. Geography of Britain a little bit different these days. Britannia, I should say. Looking at the map, it seems that getting to Minoc might not be an easy overland traveling situation. And either way, we're going to have to go back to Britain along the way, looks like. So, bear with me, folks. I will be right back after a brief intermission. And we're back. All right. So here we are. Before I despair of reaching Minoc from you, like you used to be able to, in the good old days of Ultima 5, we might as well see where this eastern road that doesn't take us to the gargoyles leads. Because maybe it's not so bad. According to the map, which I'll pull up, excuse me a moment. According to the map, this road leads to just a water's edge. So maybe there's a boat there we can get passage on? Elsewise, I don't know. We might have to go back to Britain. I need to start learning how the moon gates and stuff work. In fact, maybe we'll try just throw down a moonstone, hop in, see if it takes us where we want to go. Alright, can we just... Well, I got as far as the. Let me just find the Rosetta Stone for this runic script. Lost. Is that lost? Yep, the lost. Is that K? No, it's not K. The P looking thing is an H. The lost hall. The lost hall. Okay. Let's throw in a save before we see if we can just abscond with one of these skiffs here. Because if it's stealing, I don't want to steal. But if it's free... If it's free, we'll see what we can do. Okay. Better have the map up while I do this. We don't have an easy path to Minoc that I can see from here. Unless we can follow the coastline. Up and around. So why don't we find out if we can? I don't see why we wouldn't. Here we go. Skiff can handle... So here's the cross, but if I get out here, it looks like a long road that will lead back down to Cove. So an alternate route to return to Britain, and perhaps that's what we want. But first, if we can make it around, if the waters don't get too harsh along the coastline here, then perhaps we can ride into Minoc. Okay. Alright, so the test here is, can we go... Oh, I see where I am. Okay. Yeah. This is promising. And up around there. And then here's the edge of this part. And so, if we can shoot across the Bay of Sacrifice, which I believe is where I am. I'm heading east. Just trust me. Okay. Minoc. But let's see if we can find a dock. Tie up the skiff that we've borrowed from the Lost Hall outside of you. More Minoc. Is there a dock clearly depicted anywhere on the map? Not that I can see. Ah! This'll do. Well, here we are. Hello, sir. A tall, muscled man with a wide grin. That is a wide grin. Good description. Hello, he says, lumbering over to you and extending a large hand. Can't judge whether they've depicted his hands properly. Can't see him. What can I do for you? You can tell me your name, sir. How are you? Trebor. A little wizardry reference here. Trebor, in wizardry, the original wizardry, Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord, Trebor is the Mad Overlord who hires the heroes to slay Weirdna, the wizard. Wizardry Proving Grounds of the Mad Overlord was designed by two guys whose names were Andrew and Robert. Go figure. Okay, so you're Trebor. And what do you do, sir? Yeah, I had a feeling. I'm not in the market for a skiff because I just stole this one and didn't seem to get in trouble for it. But what about ships? Like, what's a ship going to run me? Only 250 gold? Okay, I'm not right now interested, but I'm probably going to buy a ship from you soon, sir. So that's very good. Tell me about the sea. Do you have any thoughts about the sea? Minoc's a nice place. Alright, you're not a chatting sort. He's a shipwright, I'll note that. 250 for ship. How are we doing for money as a collective here? Let's ask Iolo to help out here. Our old friend Iolo. I could use your help, my friend. I would like your story too, and I will. Oh, right. Gotta skip right to gather. Gathers it up. Thank you, friend. You do need to tell me that story. If I remember today before we leave, we'll kick Dupre out of the party, not save, get the story, and be glad to know it. 335. So maybe at the end of our adventures in and around Minoc, it'll be a good time to buy a ship. Maybe we'll get some more money. Who knows? We'll find out together, friends. There's our pal, Trebor, who we just met. Locked door. Fair enough. And here's Minoc proper. The buildings of Minoc. So let's go around and let's get to know people. What time is it? 9:59 a.m. Terrific. We got loads of daylight ahead of us. Cedar door. We've successfully opened the cedar door. This looks like a weaponsmith shop, and yet, oh, here we are. No, he's up and he's at work at 10. See, he's a keener in Britannian terms. Ooh, he's a young lad, and that is in fact how this young lad looks. And a good one to you. I'm not a lord. Oh, I am the avatar, so it does make sense to address me respectfully, so I'll accept it. Well, you can tell me your name. Introduce yourself. Mine too. We've met young James now. What do you do? I'm James the Avatar. How about you? James the Apprentice. Apprentice Smith. Cool. Well, before we get into questions of buying and selling, young James, young Jimmy, Jamie, Jem. No, that's an old British shortening. Jeremy, not James. Well, if you're the apprentice, tell me about your apprenticeship. Your master went off to fight the gargoyles. Yeah, virtue of sacrifice. He's putting it all on the line for what's right. He ain't been heard from since. Definitely practicing the virtue of sacrifice. And your mind in the place till he gets back. Well, let's hope. He might be, laying somewhere all full of boomerangs. Whew, okay, that's heavy stuff. How do you feel about the gargoyles? Alright. Yeah, it's okay. Well, what do you sell? Right. What kind of arms do you sell? Dagger, mace, mangosh, morningstar, sword. Alright. Well, I'm curious for a moment. I'm going to look at the compendium and find the ranks of hammer type weapons. If I can find them. Here we are. Angoshes, swords, missile weapons, bludgeoning weapons. Mace, then. It's not clearly. Oh no, Morning Stars count as polearms. So Morning Stars have long reach, right? Of course, because you're swinging a. Okay. Unwieldy. They require great strength and dexterity. So that's probably after we've leveled up a bit kind of weapon. But good to know. Changed my mind. I did. What kind of armor do you sell, young man? Chaincoat, chainmail. Ooh, a winged helm. How much? 20 gold? I'm interested. Okay. That's all for now. I didn't change my mind. I bought one thing and then I didn't want to buy another thing. That was perfectly consistent. Now, what you could do for me, young James, is let me know if I have anything you want to buy. No, those are, don't want to sell it. If the way you want to think about it is that I changed my mind, sure. I don't think that Dupre is wearing scale mail, but I gotta verify it. Hang tight, James. Yeah, he's got plate mail on and loads of scale mail to sell. I should look at the armor of the rest of us. Ring mail absorbs 3. Scale mail absorbs 4. So first, move scale mail to the avatar. Can't carry it. Encumbrance. Okay. So let's have the avatar hand this shield to Dupre. Encumbered. Move the shield to Iolo. Inventory management. Not at all. Okay, how much does scale mail weigh? 4.8 stones? Can't quite carry it yet. What about this helmet situation? Winged helm absorbs 2. A winged helm is inferior, it turns out, to an iron helm. So let's give it to Jana in the hopes that it's at least better than her leather helmet. Also looks cooler. It certainly looks cooler. Not the most important part. That should free up enough space for Dupre to say, hey, Avatar, try this on for size. And we succeeded there. Of course, now the Avatar is heavily encumbered. That's okay. Put the scale mail on. So now we want to... I can't remember now if I was able to sell that. Well, let's find it. If I can sell the ring mail, I will. Heck yeah. 17 gold. Hook it up. Okay. And then, if you need to think of it that way, sure. I've changed my mind. And then, Dupre would like to sell a whole bunch of scale mail, young man. No, I need the sword. Wait. No, I don't, do I? Hold on. Because Dupre is using a two-handed sword. He can sell a regular sword. That'll free up some space. Oh, he's barely encumbered anymore. After selling all that scale mail that he's been lugging around. Great. But, let's sell the sword that he doesn't need. Wait, does Iolo have a sword for when he runs out of stuff to fight with? He does not. We ought to give Iolo the sword just for in a pinch. Shimino's got 2 swords. He can sell those. Alright, Iolo's got that sword. But let's sell Shimino's swords. Shimino. Sell a sword. Yes. And another one. Yes. But not the third one, I don't think, right? Right? Let's just verify that I haven't stripped, or that I haven't left Shimino carrying swords he doesn't need. I haven't. Shimino also has an extra chain coif. A chain coif only absorbs 2. So yeah, we'll sell that chain coif. Young James, good morning to you as well. We would like to sell. Shimino has a chain coif he's not using. Boom. Done and done. We won't sell the one that he does have on his head because he needs that to protect his head. That's not how I would put it, young James, but okay. Great. Okay. We have a magically locked door. Magical seals are a little less exotic, I guess, in the Britannia of years later than they were the last time the Avatar was around during the Shadow Lord crisis. Because just like people are just locking their ordinary closets with them. That's okay. What is this shop? Perhaps a clockmaker? A spidery looking man with delicate hands. I don't know if spidery is the word I would use, but I would look for some word that implied just a little bit of a creepiness about him. So sure, I'll take it. Hello. Hi. What's your name? Your name is Troy. Alright. Alright, Troy. Just making a couple quick edits to my spreadsheet here to prepare it. Now that we're in Minoc. Make sure my text is wrapping. In the info sheets, I've recorded that young James is missing a master. His apprenticeship is derailed. What do you do here, Troy? You make clocks. Yeah. The movements of the various parts are very complex and interconnected. This is how I assume this guy talks. Like the moon and stars are the pieces on a chessboard. And he's doing weird things with his hands while he talks. Yeah, absolutely. Tell me about the moons. Do you sell watches? I'll ask him about this in a bit. Ephemerides is going to build a model of the whole system. Oh, is he? I helped him design the gearwork that makes it go. Alright, I certainly hope that you can recognize 4 letters and that's all you're parsing. He lived at the Lytheum. Alright. Whoa. Did not mean to add a lisp to the character there. So, Troy has just told me that Ephemerides at the Lyceum is building a model of the moons. I designed the gear work for him. Great. There's one interesting piece of information. What of the Lyceum? Are you going to tell me that it's in Moonglow? Because I know that. Center of Great Learning. What kind of things can you learn there? If you didn't run around asking foolish questions all the time, you might learn something yourself. I'm going to let that slide. But I don't appreciate the attitude, sir. Okay, so yeah, you're a watchmaker. You make clocks. What do you think of chess? I like to play chess. Keeps one's mind fit. Yeah. What of the mind? Some people don't use theirs, but I do. One of the most obnoxious traits in an intellectual is this attitude that, my particular intellectual pursuit means that I use my mind, unlike other people who I personally feel superior to. Don't be a jerk, man. Okay, well, yeah, you're a jerk. All right, tell me about clocks. The ticking of clocks is the pulse of civilization. Sure. I see how that's true. Of course, the ticks would be useless without the talks. Tell me of the talks. They're much deeper sounding and more satisfying than the ticks. Yep, I agree with that. Talk. And if you only had the tick and the talk wasn't there, it would be this unresolved tension. When I was a child, and my sister was born, I was about 3 years old, and I don't remember this, but I'm told. At first my parents thought, well, this first kid we had was so quiet and good, That was why they chose to have a second kid in the first place. So sorry for misleading you parents. But what it was going to be like when my sister came. But because they'd had such an easy experience with baby James, they put my sister in the same room as me when I was a child. And she screamed all night and all day. And apparently, after about a week of this, we were getting up in the morning. And I looked at my mother and I said, Mommy, I don't think I can do this anymore. And so they put me down in the basement bedroom. The downstairs. It's a split level. It was like an unfinished basement. And there was a clock in there. And I do remember this, just being awake and terrified of the ticking of the clock. So my parents had to take the clock out of there because I had another sleepless night or two. Well, there's a whole big old story. What else were you saying about clocks? Civilization. You probably have some awful thing to say about civilization. Without clocks, people would just sit around uselessly with no idea what to do next. I don't know, man. I don't know. They might just look at the sun, get a sense of what time it was. But okay. You're obviously very passionate about clocks. Great talking to you, I guess. Until we come into conjunction again. Yeah, let me know if you ever get in the watchmaking business, because I forgot mine back in the other dimension that I come from. Here's the inn. Is this the inn? Oh yeah, I see where it wraps around a little. See if the innkeeper has anything to say besides that she runs an inn, not gonna have a bed. Certainly the innkeeper in Spirituality, Scarbray, had plenty to say beyond. Okay. We see a stunningly beautiful young woman. Yeah, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Certainly a fine-looking portrait. I'll grant that we can say that counts. The woman never looks up from the book she's reading, even when you speak to her. And that tracks. Look at her eyes. She's focused on the book. Yes, what do you want? Okay. I don't even mind that you want to read, but you don't have to be rude. You're operating a business, man. What's your name? My name's Doris, but you can just call me Hey You. And if I call you Hey You, everyone else does. Everyone else just calls you Hey You? Typical, she mutters. No, First of all, you said I could call you that. Second of all, I was just trying to ask you about why everybody calls you. It's all right. She obviously, Doris has a Belle from Sleeping Beauty situation coming on, where her nose is always in a book, and the other townspeople think she's weird, except probably for Troy. Except he probably feels superior to her for some other reason. He seems like the kind of guy. Okay, so what do you do? I'm in charge of the Tinker's Inn while my father's away. If you have any complaint, no matter how trivial, please feel free to bother me. Doesn't really sound like she means what she said. Who's your father? My father called me back from the Lyceum, a fine place for you, so that you could go fight the gargoyles. Tell me about the Lyceum. Yes, I'm learning the mystic arts from the great Zhao. Though I doubt you'd know much about that sort of thing. Have you never read any books about the avatar of all virtue and his magical prowess? I took you for a woman of learning, Doris. Alright. She's learning from the great Zhao. I'm studying under the great Zhao at the Lyceum, but my father called me back to run the inn so he could go fight the gargoyles. Note made. And I'll note that she's the innkeeper. Although that's also captured in the info that I just wrote down for her. Okay. Sorry, I've misspelled your fella's name. Zhao. Tell me about this Zhao. She. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have assumed. She's the wisest mage in all of Britannia. Only she can teach the spells of the greatest power. Only Zhao can teach the spell of the greatest power. That is useful information. What kind of power? Mm-hmm. That's right. Okay, yes, of course, of course. So you run an inn. Room board, 5 gold per person per night. Cash in advance, of course. Interested? No, it's the morning. You might not know that because your nose is in a book. What a pity. Yeah, I can tell you're really disappointed to not have my custom. Okay. Listen, I like a good book as much as the next guy. But we can still be polite to the people around us. Especially if we're at work. What is this? Shop. You see an industrious young woman with a crazy swoop in her hair. How can I help you this fine morning? Well, let's get to know each other. Who are you? You're Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Thou needn't tell me thy name, James. The Avatar is famous throughout the land. Yeah, my reputation precedes me. It's true. I've saved the world a few times, provided a shining example of virtue for all the land, exemplifying all 8 of the virtues, as you might know, including humility, believe it or not. Achieved enlightenment and all of them. All right. Well, that's great. I'm glad that my reputation precedes me, at least with some people. There are some people in this town who claim to be very well read. Don't recognize me. Maybe if she looked up. What do you do? Basket weaver / beehive maker. I'm just going to call her a weaver. Like her father and his father before him, has your father also gone to fight the gargoyles? Has the entire elder generation of this town been slaughtered in a futile attempt to save the Shrine of Sacrifice? Your baskets are sold throughout Britannia, she adds proudly. That is something to be proud of. And your father? Father once told me a story of weaving a basket large enough for 8 people. Never showed me the plans, though. Okay. I'll be interested to see how this comes up. Big 8-person basket. Never showed me the plans, though. Do you have any idea where those plans might be? Are they by any chance in a filing cabinet in your back room and you've just never thought to look? If you've heard of my deeds, you might have heard of the time that I found the plans for the HMS Cape. Just right there in the filing cabinet of the shipwright. Yes, without accurate plans, it takes far too much time to craft a basket. That's fair. But is there not... you know what? You're the expert on weaving. I was going to say, does it not just scale up? Probably it doesn't. Fair enough. Okay. Great. I'm sorry. Father, and your baskets. Baskets? Would you like to buy one of my weavings? Not at the moment, but someday I'm going to buy a big basket from you, I have a feeling. Alright, if I can give you the best price in the land. That makes sense. It's wholesale price. Cool. Good talking to you, Michelle. Well, I think you have. I don't know how a big basket is one day going to help me save the world from the gargoyles, but... Or from the false prophet. If you heard anything about a false prophet lurking around, I should have asked her. Okay. Who we really want to meet is the mayor. We want to meet them all. We want to get to know the people. Ultima's not the game for you if you're not interested in getting to know the NPCs. Locked. Not magically, but it's locked. What is this place? Does the flag have a name written on it? It's just a flag. 1.1 stone flag. Oh! Coming back from lunch. A short, barrel-chested man. I do get the impression from this portrait that he's barrel-chested. Good afternoon to the Avatar. Oh! You recognize me. I get that now and then. I try to stay humble, though. Can I sign anything for you? Who are you, sir? What's your name? Dale the Glassblower. Alright, well, you're gonna look at me funny now when I ask you about your job, but I'm just searching for your keywords, sir. Actually, why don't I just immediately talk to him about glass? If you'd like to buy some of my glassware, just say the word. What do? You make glassware. Alright, Dale. It was a pleasure to meet you. Oh, we see a bard. Plainly dressed bard. And she's got gear. So perhaps this is a bard who can join the team. Hello, James. Hello. I'm sorry, but is this Julia? It's me, Gwenno. You've been away from our realm a long time, haven't you? You're aging much better than your husband, dear. Well, I'm sorry. This is a flaw in the engine. Not the engine, but the right. Like, you know, if it's going to be a character who's like, you don't recognize me? Well, you didn't have a portrait last time. So if the avatar should recognize her, then just have her name appear right away. You see Gwenno, Iolo's wife. What are you doing here? You know what? All right, let's get down to business. What do you do? Iolo's apprentice is taking over my job at Iolo's bows. These days, I've been transcribing the folk songs of Britannia into the numerical notation for the Artisans Guild. Of course, if you need my help, I could leave the guild for a time and join you. That appeals to me, Gwenno. I'm getting a little sick of the juggler here. He never stops juggling. It's just every now and then, I just want to be like, dude, settle down. You gotta hit somebody in the face with one of these balls you're throwing. All right. Holy moly, you just said a lot of things, Gwenno. You're transcribing folk songs, you say. Songs of people are an important part of their heritage. It's true. Putting them down on paper helps preserve our traditions for future generations. That's true. I was just asking you about traditions. But yes, I do appreciate the value of a good tradition. There are bad traditions too. I heard about this one town once where their tradition was having a lottery, and not the kind of lottery you're thinking of where you want to win the prize. What kind of notation? Number for every note and a note for every number. Yeah, I've been here. Tell me about it. Each note is represented by one number. Yep. Each number represents one note. I'm not writing this down because I know this. Represents. I knew you'd catch on. Thanks, Gwenno. All right. Tell me your keywords again. Apprentice, Iolo, of course. Songs, guild, and join. So, your apprentice, Gwyneth, right? You need to go crossbow. The shop is in Britain over by the Blue Boar. Boar? It's a lively place. It is. I've been. It's a lovely place. Lovely and lively. If there was a third vowel that you could swap out there and it would create a word, I'm sure it would be that too. Lovely or whatever. Okay. This guild. Selganor can tell you more about the guild than I could. Okay, let me record that. Gwenno, the Bard, Selganor can tell you more about the Artists Guild. That's good. Who is this Selganor? Selganor. He's the guildman. No shit. Okay, great. I thought you might tell me where I could find him. So how are things between you and Iolo? Bit scruffy, but he's the sweetest husband I can ever ask for. That's not how I remember your relationship being, but if you've worked on things, that's great. But yeah, he was a handsome blonde-haired dude last time I was here, and you're still got the chestnut hair. To be honestly, probably ages a man to be constantly shot in the back by his wife while saving the world. Iolo says, "You're only saying that because it's true." Gives her a kiss. Good one, Iolo. I like that. Great to see you, Gwenno. And hey, let's just, I'm going to bid farewell to Blaine here. Just, Blaine, could I, Blaine, Would you pass me that boomerang you're holding there, buddy? And the boots you're wearing? I'll even let you keep the armor as a souvenir of the journey. We should let him keep the boomerang. That's a really good souvenir of the fight against the gargoyles, but it's just not the way it's going to go. We need weaponry. So, Blaine... Alright, we got to steel ourselves. Slightly built traveler lad. He's going to accuse us of racism. That is... I do wish you to leave. Especially because you're... Like, this is... Yeah, listen, man. Why would you even leave it open to me changing my mind if you didn't know that this is a really unfair interpretation? Okay, whatever. Suppose if you wanted to keep all this equipment. He leaves everything he's carrying on the ground. Okay, you don't need to strip characters of their equipment. So let's secure Gwenno and really make the team frustrate. Well, you know, I made it through Ultima 5 where 4 of the 6 party members had the same sprite, so we'll survive Gwenno and Iolo having the same sprite. Hey, want to come along, Gwenno? Yes, I do. It will be nice. Haha, they're dancing joy. It's great to see their marriage, you know, patched up. They are very happy, and we're very happy to have them. Let's just, excuse me, Blaine. Oops. Okay, we'll have Gwenno herself here. Just don't. Okay. Excuse me 1 second here. Heard a phone notification that the phone uses the text message notification sound for every time you get a stupid push notification that you don't want, that you're too disorganized to turn off in the app. Okay, so Gwenno should definitely get equipped here. Let's go back to the avatar. And the avatar will hand over the swamp boots. Oh, damn it. No, this one's Gwenno? Nope. Iolo. Disguising yourself as your wife. Pass swamp boots to Gwenno. And we'll pass the... What else does Gwenno need? Oh, Jana should put her winged helmet on. Now she's looking real cool. Meanwhile, Gwenno can put these on. She's got some armor now. And the boomerang. I won't have her equip it just yet. See how she does as a fighter. She's reasonably tough. She's only level 2. She's near level 3. Great. Very good. So, back to the business of walking around, talking to folks. Oops, not trying to do solo mode. I think I would need to turn the cycles down to make the harpsichord noise less ugly. At any rate, we don't know any magic songs yet, so stop using the harpsichord and carry on. Hey Blaine, no hard feelings, right? I was obviously full of hard feelings. Yeah, that's Dupre. I was trying to look at the sign, of course. Look at it from a distance so we don't accidentally look at one of our friends. Sign of a healer. Stimpinski! Hail! How did the Shadowrun battle go? I only got to see a little bit at the beginning. Business is good. We still aren't tough enough to liberate the Shrine of Justice because that one big gargoyle can't even get a hit on him. But We've made our way to Minoc. I've sent Blaine, the traveler, packing, and recruited Gwenno. Well, the game looked pretty fun, so hopefully that takes the edge off needing to play it more. Maybe I'll be able to catch more of that if the stars align, because it looked fun. Looks like obviously like something that would be right up my alley. So add that to the long list of things that I will do in the fullness of time. Thank you for welcoming me, my dear. I don't, but who? What's your name? Your name is Tara. This is Tara the healer. In fact, I'll just go right ahead and write her down as a healer. What do you do? You're the healer. Of course you are. What sorts of people are unfit? Yeah. All right. We don't need your services right now, but it's great to know you're here. Great to know that the people of Minoc are still caring for the unfit. Is there still a home for the poor? We shall find out. Here we got this might be taking us to the Lord Mayor. Slender, graceful man tuning a lute. Well, grace is all in the the movements and stuff. So, I wouldn't look at this particular fellow and think it's probably graceful, but perhaps he is. Maybe I can help you. Oh, your nephew is studying alchemy and he's to know this. What are black pearls used for? Copy protection. And that tells me who this is too. This is Salganor, the head of the Artist Guild. We just learned that this guy exists. So they are a kinetic propellant. And what can I do for you? Well, you can tell me your name, although if I had to guess, I'd say you're Salganor. Salganor? It's a name with a long history. Do you have a look of someone with more important business? I am important. Thank you for noticing. But do tell me, what's the history? It means Seeker of the Crystal. Perhaps I'll tell you more some other time. I'd love it if you told me more right now. Right? It's quite a tale. Absolutely, Stimpinski. I will try to be amusing for the duration of the stream. So I'm worth having on in the background. Alright, what's your tale? Indeed. Alright, fine. I was interested in your name and you could have told me more about it. But you didn't feel like it, and that's okay. Now I gotta ask you again. Your name, long history, business. Yeah, what kind of business do you think I have? Perhaps you're interested in joining the guild. You have a guild? If you want to join the guild, you need to do two things. First, you need to make a set of panpipes. Julia can teach you how to do that. Ah, Julia! Me and Julia go way back. Okay, hold on. Let's make this note. To join the guild, you must do two things. First, get a set of panpipes. Julia can teach you how. Okay? And then I gotta learn to play some song, don't I? Commit stones to memory. It's a simple tune. I know it's a simple tune. Very, very good chance that I lost the index card on which I wrote the numerical musical notation for stones in the move. But not guaranteed. So if I can find that, we might be able to short circuit this. Although I guess Gwenno can also just tell me. Okay. So, panpipes. Oops. Hold on. 2. Commit stones to memory. Gwenno can play for you. Great. Awesome. Okay, so tell me about panpipes. I know a lot of people don't like panpipes. I enjoy them. Have I made them? No, I haven't. Julia can show me. Where's Julia? She made my lute, and most of our other instruments as well. She lives just across the road, next door to Lady Isabella. Great. Julia's across the road, lives next door to Isabella. Who's this Isabella? She's the mayor. Good. Glad to know that. In fact, why don't I set up her entry? Isabella, the Lady Mayor. Very, very good. Okay. And then how about this song, Stones? No, I haven't. All right. Tell me about Gwenno. Use your inside voice if you got bad things to say. I know she's around here somewhere. She's standing right here, yes. Ah! Great. Okay, well, I'm not ready to join, but it was nice talking to you too. You're actually very, very helpful. So right across the road. Ah! Poison. Oh no. Almost freaked out from the poison swamp, but it's not actually a big risk, is it? When we're all wearing our swamp boots. Across the road in what sense, sir? Like across this road? Let's find out. Let's find out together. This feels like a mayor-y kind of place. You see a woman of elegant demeanor wearing a finely embroidered dress. Now this woman looks elegant. Ah, my Lord James, the famous avatar. Yeah, I am pretty famous around these parts. Would you believe Doris, that weirdo bookworm, didn't even look up and freak out. She didn't even want me to sign the book she was reading. Never expected? Like, even when gargoyles invaded, it never occurred to you that the Avatar might be summoned? It's indeed an honor. Well, I'm honored too, to meet you, because I sense that you are the mayor. The Lady Isabella. Thy name, of course, is well known throughout the land. Tell me about how known I am. As thy exploits are known by even the smallest of children, except for Doris. I recognize thee from the portrait Woodruff made the last time thou camest to our land. I don't remember sitting for a portrait with Woodruff. Is he some creeper doing a portrait of me while I slept? One of the finest artisans that ever dwelt in Minoc. Alas, he died of the flu 2 years ago. Yeah, it was. Jeez. Okay. Yikes. What do you do here, Isabella? I mean, I've heard you're the mayor. Mayor of Minoc, the city of sacrifice. We are renowned for our fine craftsmen and for your generosity to the poor and sick. We are entrusted with the Rune of Sacrifice. Yeah, I know. Do you have it? She gave it to Selganor. What do you think of this Selganor? He's a fine musician. I can tell he's not going to entrust the rune to me unless I'm a guild member. Even though I'm the freaking Avatar and I'm trying to save the world. This is the feeling that I get. He's a musician, you say? If you weren't so busy. You're busy? Ah, yes, being the mayor. It is a big city. I haven't even seen all of it. It's hard to see all of it. I have a very... me and all of my companions are terribly nearsighted. Oh my goodness. You've said so many things. The rune. City of Sacrifice. Hold on. Your job is, you're the mayor, craftsman. Artisan. Yeah. Alright, yep. Do we ever? That should be a side quest. Obviously, that's not going to be a side quest, but get the glasses and it zooms out a little and you can see an extra few squares. Okay. Artisan's Guild is located here. This is all very helpful information. How's the shrine doing? Cannot help me. Can't even just let me know that you sent all the fathers off to try to liberate it? Okay. Oh yes, of course. Kind of weird for a mayor to be using the royal we. I think probably what she meant was us, like the people of Minoc. But I'm still visiting the people of Minoc. Is this Julia here? We'll find out. But first, Selganor. He's tuning his lute. Something I need to ask you. What was it? Oh yes, now I remember. You made a set of panpipes. Not yet, pal. Yes, I know Julia can show me. I'm gonna go talk to her in a minute. I need to catch up with Julia anyway. I can't even remember what her face looks like. Even though we've spent a lot of time together over the years. So, I gotta ask him with the rune. I saw this coming, sir. Alright, we have our quest chain. We need to learn stones, and we need a set of panpipes to play it on. It's not enough to bang out stones on the harpsichord. Alright. Be nice talking to you if you were a little more helpful, Salvanor. But okay. See a sturdy woman with calloused hands and a loud manner. This is Julia, isn't it? Well then, the rumors are true. 'Tis well and good that you have returned to our land, Avatar. Julia! Nay, my lord, I know nothing about Julia. Name? Name Julia I am, and pleased to meet you. Okay, weird writing here. What do? You're a tinker. Instruments I make, the finest in the land. Not to be immodest, but I'm respected by all the guild. But I would give it up for a life of adventure like your own. A guild, you say? If you would like to be a member, go talk to Salvanor. Yeah. You like adventure? Join if you wish. Yeah. Julia, I'd love to have you on board. In fact, I might actually like having you on board more than having Gwenno on board. And also, she's got a thing she's doing. We'll figure that out. We don't need to make this decision right now. Okay. So, while I'm here, Julia, can I whip up some panpipes for me? Or do you have some things I need to fetch for you? Sent you to me. They did? Oh, I can believe that. And the panpipes are a tricky instrument. Because I get to make, sure, because you gotta get each, they need to be perfectly calibrated because all they are is a pipe to make a single note. Not that tricky to play, I wouldn't think. Listen to me, I don't play any woodwind. Gotta have the finest wood. Yeah. If you want to learn how to make pipes, you'll need to bring a U board. Okay? But it must be freshly cut. Okay. So, a U board. You have a fine... No, I don't. Not yet. No? What are you, daft? I cannot be making pipes without wood. Alright, so Julia, like the yay hat before her, is Scottish. Go to U, where they grow the best wood in Britannia. Buy a freshly cut yew log and take it to a sawmill. I should be writing this down. Julia the Tinker. Buy a freshly cut yew log in yew and take it to a sawmill. Okay. Have them cut it into a board and bring it back here. Then I'll show you how panpipes are made. Great. Thanks, Julia. That's very helpful. May fortune follow you on your way. Yes, I hope it does. And same to you, old friend. Despite this weird conversation where you recognized me instantly at first, didn't recognize your own name, and then spoke as though we were just meeting. Like, all that was kind of weird. It's probably Julia's house. No, never mind. This is Julia's house. Whew, Minoc is a large city. The mayor was not just, puffing up her town when she says big. Big homes, small homes. Oh, there's the inn, of course. All right. Well, we have our quest. For now, let's stick with the skiff we came in on. And in time, we'll buy our own ship before we're done with Minoc. We gotta go back to you now. And then we gotta find a sawmill. I bet there's one in the vicinity of you. Perhaps Empath Abbey. We'll find it. But here we go. Sailing back. And we might need to get out in camp. At some point, should get the map handy. Okay, here we go. I think I also see where, not the Shrine of Sacrifice, but if the dungeon, I don't know if the dungeons are still in this game or not. There's a little symbol right where dungeon. What's the counter to sacrifice dungeon? Covetous. Right? I think I see a little symbol on the map where the entrance to Covetous was. So if it's still in action, I guess we'll find out eventually. And if we just follow the coastline. Oh dear. We'll be attacked. Let's throw down a save, and let's see if we have any way of coping with this. Certainly if we're going to fight things that are offshore, it's a good time for Gwenno to... Can Gwenno have a main gauche? Huh. I don't know how effective that... I mean, it's going to be useless fighting the sea serpents. Oh, do you, Shimino? Good ears, man. Let's find out how tough sea serpents are. Of course, they'll have one distinct advantage. Unless they're foolish, which it actually seems like they might be. Because right now, that serpent is close enough to be struck. Oh, Iolo's duffing his arrows into a bush. Oh, I haven't made Gwenno, haven't put Gwenno under my control yet. No, you're not on the front line. I'm going to, I know I said official companions of the Avatar I will control and then the non-other NPCs. Gwenno, though, was a full-on Avatar companion in my version of Ultima 5, so she counts. She's grandfathered in. Barely wounded. That's okay. No, not with the main gauche. There. Lightly wounded. We're making progress already. Huh, she lost her whole turn. That wasn't great. Heavily wounded. Did she just she lost the boomerang? Nope. We're gonna unequip the main gauche and see if that makes her a little more controllable here. Shimino. Taking hits from Iolo. Alright, Iolo. Oh! This thing can be critical for a while, huh? Well, just biffing boomerangs at it as it flees. And arrows. Still critical. Oh no, I skipped Iolo's turn by mistake. Alright. Break off the combat. Good try, team. I mean, oh, the water's not even going to be safe because there's another serpent. Well, we're going to have to go and anger it anyway. Oh, maybe the other one's gone now. And now we just gotta find the lost hull. And we can dock our little skiff, return it undamaged, a little scorched, but it's still seaworthy. Hopefully we can get there by nightfall. Have I skipped it? Did I miss it somehow? No. Here we are. No, wait. It's directly across from here. Okay. That's fine. We can get there. Here we are. Here we go. Thank you, Lost Hall, for your services. Let's rest. Sleep the whole night away. And Jana, you're on guard duty. We all had food to eat. If we don't get attacked, do some healing. The time passes. Got a good feeling. We're up. We're up at not even at dawn. We have beat the sunlight. Yeah, we're not gonna investigate that, buddy. We're not ready for that smoke. I mean, we're ready for the little guys. But our last effort to bait them away, take them out the easy way, did not pay off. I don't know if this was the plan, to wander into the woods. But south and west should eventually get us there, right? Right. Or we're lost. Let me look at the map. Oh yeah. Goodness. No, we need to get back to the road. Oh, you know what? While we're here, why not just we can explore the full range of this area. I haven't yet stumbled on just like a cool thing in the wilderness. But there could easily be cool things in the wilderness in this game. So why wouldn't I look? Why wouldn't I investigate? How am I for time here? Yeah. Got a little bit of time. We'll make U. We'll see if we can buy a U board. Hopefully they're not extraordinarily expensive. I mean, they are the best kind of wood. Oh, we're not even buying the wood, though. We're buying the log. It hasn't even been refined. The value add hasn't been performed yet. Okay, here's the road. There's the bad fork. And we're almost back to you. So who in you is going to sell me this board? There aren't that many different options for people to purchase stuff from. No, we don't need that dagger. Oh! Oh, you want it. Salgan and B? Alright. Good try, Gwenno. Alright, come on, Gwenno. Oops. Sorry, Shimino. Wasted your turn. Save your ammo, Iolo. It's just trolls. Nothing particularly impressive. Huh. Tougher than he looks. Boom! Welcome to the team, Gwenno. Welcome back. Sorry, I should say. Whoop. Oh, more trolls. Of course there's more trolls. If I had an opening shot on the avatar and I was a troll, I would make it count a lot more than this guy just did. Or at least I'd try. I suppose if I was a troll, I wouldn't be very good at hitting a target with my throwing axe. So... Still saving our ammunition here. You get infinite shots with a boomerang. So here we go. Whoops. Sorry, Jana. Expecting Iolo's turn there. On the run. Alright, Iolo, here's a time on the bow. It's very useful. Can Jana shoot? Yep. Good shot, Jana. Jana was a murderess with her magic axe last time, and she's continuing the tradition. You do not want to face down Jana when she has access to an unlimited fire ranged weapon. Boom. We're done here. Well, it's all over but the looting. And on that note, Shimino. Lots of throwing axes. And a chest. It's a chest. It had an acid trap. But we found some meat. Get that meat, Shimino. And move. Not the torches. Oh well. Get the torches, Shimino. And then move the chest. And then leave the rest for someone a little less encumbered to pick up. Man. I mean, listen. I'm not a troll general or anything, but I do think probably using more of the weapons you brought is a key strategy that these trolls didn't see their way to using. Oh my goodness. Yeah, like this dude. Not well thought out. Okay, who, because we can sell a lot of this stuff to our old buddy. Oh, I feel bad. To our old buddy Utomo. So who can carry some of this stuff? All right, I mean, gotta go back to party mode to look at other people's stats. All right, Dubray, you're a big tough dude. Look at this guy, 27 strength. Strongest guy I know. The avatar sucks right now. But he's getting close to another level up. Shimino's ready. Gwenno reminds me, her portrait reminds me of an old teaching assistant of mine, whose name obviously I won't say, but she was great. Obviously, you know, when you have a teaching assistant for several years, and then they finish their undergraduate degree, and you're like, please do a graduate study, and they do, and you're like, sweet. But then they finish that degree, and they go off and they start their career. You feel happy for them. You want that to happen, but it's still just like, oh man, I'd be so much better off if you're still here as my TA. Alright, take everything you can carry, Dupre. Now he's too... Oh, he can't take the troll corpse itself. Okay, now Dupre is encumbered. Back to party mode. Who else? He's got a little bit of room. Jana and Gwenno. Alright. Gwenno, get some stuff. Ah, too heavy. Okay. Oh, because that was the body. The bodies are heavier than the weapons. Makes sense. Lots of spears. Can we sell spears to Otomo? Because otherwise we need to tediously throw them all out. Okay, Gwenno's loaded down. Jana, get equipped. Okay. There. We're set. So step one, let's go see our buddy Otomo. I think that, yeah. Here we are. No, that's the tailor, of course. And here's Otomo's shop. Hombogosano. We're here to sell. Dupre would like to sell a throwing axe. Yep. And a throwing axe. And a throwing axe. Would you like to buy this throwing axe, pal? How about this throwing axe we found? Are you interested in purchasing a throwing axe today? I've got a throwing axe you just might like. Okay, and also the leather armor. And this leather helm. And no, not giving up the swamp boots. We have more stuff to sell, if you can believe it. Jana would like to sell you a throwing axe. A throwing axe. A throwing axe. And a throwing axe. It's all throwing axes she's got. Is Jana gonna wear ring mail? I'm not sure. So I won't make this. Oh, the leather helm though. Alright. No more. But Gwenno has some stuff you could acquire. Oh good. He buys spears. Would you like a spear? How about a spear? Take this spear off my hands, would you? Got a spear you might like. Finest spears in town. Fresh off a dead troll. We got a spear for you. That fine troll craftsmanship. And if you're in the market for throwing axes, we got what you want. We got what you need. Sell all would be a great quality of life feature, but it's okay. It's okay. Take care, my friend. Now, let's pool up the money. Can the avatar even hold all the money we got? Probably. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Iolo, if this is you, it is. Right now, I'd like you to gather all the gold. Yeah, I'm encumbered with all this delicious money. I can think of worse problems to have. 739 and 8. Great. Well, we're buying a boat, and that will lighten the load on the avatar. But for now, also, Iolo. It's too much money. Split it up. Okay, great. And you will. You will. Today, in fact. Alright. Now we need to find someone who can sell us a board. Or a log. A log. We're looking for a log. May or may not get to this tonight. Today. This afternoon/evening. Does the mayor... Yeah, that is a perpetual scowl. I am worthy, aren't I? Thank you for recognizing my worthiness. I was being precise. I was asked... Ben the Logger. Okay. Have I met Ben the Logger? I haven't. Head west from here into the forest until you can go no further. Then look for a way through the trees to the north. Excellent. Let me note that down. Ask Ben the Logger for you logs. Head west through the forest until you can go no further, and then look for a path to the north. That's what we're going to do. It's exactly how we're going to try to play this. And while I'm here, where's the sawmill? Okay. Bye. Thank you, Lady Lenore, for all that you're a real frustrating lady. I do appreciate your assistance. Okay, let me look at the map. Try to get a sense of where we are heading west from. Oh, seems relatively clear. Immediately to the west of you is a forest. If Ben lives in that forest, we'll find him. If he doesn't live in that forest and we find a path north, it'll lead us to the road. And we'll figure it out from there. Okay, but yeah, just like right behind Lenora's mayoral hut, we have woods. So let's head west into the woods. Shimino, here's something in the west. Is it a man logging? Probably not. Snakes. I hate snakes. Okay, let's not enter battle yet. And let's send Jana on an assassination mission. Good shot, Jana. But now that I think about it, this is a job for Gwenno. She doesn't have that far to go for a basic preliminary level up. Probably we're not making a ton of experience off of these snakes, but anything more? Have we cleared the area? Yeah, I think we're okay. Great. Whoops. How's Gwenno? Probably not there. Off the... Yeah. Oh, she also killed a troll, but she's closing in on level 3. And we carry on west. And I mean, you're right, Stimpinski. Like, the snakes were not attacking us. But Jana needed practice. Oh, is it this easy? Excuse me, Ben? See a man as large as the trees that surround his cottage. It's not true. The trees surrounding his cottage are 4 tiles. And this man is only 1 tile. But I can tell that he is a big guy from the portrait. I told the last one of you that came by that I'll have nothing to do with your wars, so shove off. Wars? Against the gargoyles? Ever since I won that chopping contest, the king said the notion I'd be good on whittling men in the same way. You can tell him I'm not interested. Like the king, like Lord British? You are from the king, ain't ya? No. Oh, seems friendlier now. Great. We've made a breakthrough with Ben here. Ben! My friends call me Big Ben. I guess you can call me Big Ben. He smiles broadly. All right. We're fast friends. That's great. Just a second here. Boom. All right. Okay, Big Ben. He's a big boy. Got any other friends? Surprised you that I'd have some. No. Okay. You're just being good humored. No, you seem like I like you, man. You made a good first impression. You don't like war. He's a big tough guy with an axe, but he doesn't want to use it to kill people. That's admirable. Great. So, can I have a log? I am here to buy a log. I, the avatar, will take it. 5 gold? Yeah. Great. You know where the sawmill is? Fair enough. I mean, it does seem like the kind of thing you would know, but I guess if you're just here and handing off the logs and they go away with them, that's fair. That's fair. So what do you do? I mean, I get it. Have I never seen a lumberman before? Amazed old meal. I'll offer you the same deal I offer everyone who comes here trying to sell me followers. Give me 100 free followers, prove to me that you have them, and then we can talk about me buying more. Are they going to subscribe, these fake followers? And I'm not even sure that I want to be famous, but it is what it is. Okay. No, I have. Yeah. All right. Great. It's been terrific to meet you, Ben. You were presented the way that NPCs that I could recruit are usually presented. Like I can see his equipment. Nonetheless, Ben does not want to live a life of violence, so we're not even going to try to recruit him. We can't say he hasn't done his part. Because of the unreasonable demand of Selganor that I prove myself as both a craftsman and pipe player. So I think that the sawmill is along the road, if not at Empath Abbey, then near it. So let's throw in a save and go see about that. Do 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 do. Hey, you know, if I'm wrong, we'll deal with it. Okay, so here, oh yeah, the mortician. Wait, hold on. Did I just happen to record the presence of a sawmill? No, I didn't. Unless this Farron guy. Well, hold on. Oh, this is a graveyard. So the sign just says, it's the graveyard. Hello, sir. See a coarse-looking individual digging in the dirt with his bare hands. Can we get the Undertaker a shovel? You tell him what Glenn said. Hang tight a second here. Who's Glenn and what did he tell me to say? Oh! Yeah, right. Glenn's the mortician. He told me the gravedigger is incompetent. Why would I just... I just met this guy. Why am I provoking him? Wants his graves dug, does he? We can tell a little zombie face I'd do a lot better if I had a shovel. Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Your sprite looks like it's holding a shovel, but we're going to we're going to say no more about that. Alright. Let's see if we can speed up the process here. Quiet, pale, almost motionless gentleman. Needs a shovel. Tell him to use the one I gave him when I hired him. No doubt he's forgotten it by now or lost it somewhere. Well, we're getting sidetracked here by a side quest that probably isn't very important, but nonetheless. He listens a bit impatiently. He gave me a shovel, alright. Cheapest shovel I ever saw in all my years in the business. Till it broke the third day I tried using it. So his shovel broke. That's no excuse. That is a perfectly legitimate excuse, Glenn. Tell him you should have bought another one and kept working. Seems like you two could hash this out without the Avatar needing to set aside his quest to save the world. I'd have to have been glad to get a new shovel. Believe me, I knows how to pick out a good one too. How am I supposed to pay for it? You just ask him that. Glenn, I would just... No, not even Glenn. Just Mole, like... Can I just give Mole some money? That addle-brained, lower-class, miserable excuse for a common laborer. Hey, alright. I don't like you, Glenn. I agreed to give him an equipment allowance with his pay. No doubt it's all been squandered at some tavern along with the rest of his pay. See what he has to say about that. I will, but like you could shout this out the window and he'd hear you. Maybe it'd have been extra for a shovel and such in my pay if the old skinflint had ever remembered to pay me. Okay, that's... So far, Mole's got the better of this argument. Oh, silly me, spending so much time with my clients. He gestures at the corpses. Forgot little details like paying Mole. To be fair, and I'll stand up for you here, Glenn, Mole could have said something. Just out there digging graves with his bare hands and cursing your name for not paying him. Honestly, I think the whole funerary business setup here could be improved by more communication between the mortician and the undertaker. I do deserve a reward for dealing with this shit. You're right, Glenn. That mage over on the table was found just outside of town. He was carrying a couple of enchanted items and some money when the gargoyles got him. Nobody's been able to find any relatives of his, so you might as well take it all. Great. Free corpse stuff. Thanks. Yeah, that's a good prompt response. Ha! Yeah, you must be a hit at parties there, pal. That's true. That's the whole problem. He won't shout because it's not gentlemanly. He doesn't want to go out and, get a sunburn because he's so pasty. He won't let Mole in because Mole's so dirty. He needs an assistant who can carry the communications between them. A dead body. Searching here. Yeah, 150 gold coins, blue potion, an invisibility ring, and a bag. Well. Great. I wonder if Mole's got a reward for me too. He is going to pay you. That's what he says. That's fair. Listen, man, how much does a shovel cost? Like, I am the Avatar. I could show the virtue of sacrifice and compassion here by just buying you a new shovel. I know your name is Mole. Yeah, I know that. What do you do, Mole? What do you think of your master? Not that I haven't already got the idea. Oh my. Mysterious back room. That's creepy. Yeah. You dig graves? Well, I mean, we all gotta do something. Going away, are you? Let me know when you return, so I'll know it's time to speak with you again. Perhaps not, British. So then the question becomes, we have an ethical dilemma. How do we balance the competing virtues properly here? We got a bard hanging out here. Who's this dude? Have I spoken to him before? I haven't. A troubadour with a drum. That's not what these sprite shows, but we'll let that slide. All right, so this dude's drumming. The lady here must love that. The healer. Greetings, folks. Why, hello there, my friend. You've grown a bit since we met last. I'm afraid I can't recall your name. You'll have to forgive me. It has been a while, Master Iolo. So tell us your name, son. Minoc. I appreciate... Honestly, I probably could have got that one. But, yeah. It's... Yeah. Thank you, sir. Let me note down that you exist. Schnock. And he's a musician, but we'll learn more about him. What do you do? You're a drummer and a singer. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. What do you play on the drums? Just like me to play? Sure. Drum is wide and flat. He holds it by the strings on the back of it. Then he taps it in intricate patterns using both ends of a dowel held loosely in his other hand. Sounds like thus. Rum-ti-tum, tum-ti-tum-ti-tum. The beat is invigorating and exciting. I did find that invigorating. That's a battle summons. What do you know about battle? 'Twas long ago, back when men forced sorcerer's secrets from demons, back when women wove moonbeams into cloth of indescribably fine texture. Long ago, Lord Fenian devised a language of raps and knocks on the great drums used by his armies. This might be important. Oh, waffle syrup. Oof. Yeah, that's... I can assure you that I've been there. I know the feeling. Okay, so Lord Fenian devised this code. That's good to know. Each drum was made by the entire skin of a bull, stretched taut by a dozen cords. It's true. I read that in a book I found at the Lyceum. I also read a number of maritime histories. Oh yeah? You know anything about the HMS Cape? They record the facts behind many songs of different ships. Like what? Sea is not always a gentle, generous friend. Storms have brought down many a haughty vessel. The evil empire, the Dutchman, the virtuous. Have you heard of the virtuous? No, I haven't. Shinnok sings softly for you. I'm too late into the stream to sing this. There you go. There you go, British. And I didn't request the pay. Glenn did end up saying, here, just take all the stuff on that corpse. But I didn't. I was just totally happy to help. Just to, you know, even just to get the corpse smell out of the place. Alright. Southerner from Serpent's Hold once slew a pirate crew of 8. Young Keegan was this warrior bold, and thus he claimed the bitter Kate. Okay, the song's too long. He broke a bottle across her bow, and virtuous became her name. For many years she served him well. Good Captain Keegan rose to fame. The Boston Bay came north to fight the Jolly Roger on her mast. The song has completely changed its tone. To Cold Loch Lake she sailed that night, to sink Keegan's ship with a cannon blast. Ah, the old bitter Kate, she's mended her ways, and as the virtuous ended her days. Captain Keegan, he sleeps the endless sleep, on Lake shore the virtuous lays. That's useful information. The wreck of the virtuous is on the shore of Loch Lake. Yeah, the Avatar in his former life on Earth has some literature degrees. Okay. So what about these other ships? The Empire, for example. You don't know where she rests. Ask other bards. Ask other bards. Lake. Yes. It's possible. It seems unlikely. Because it's like Richard Garriott surely must have come across this fact. But it seems possible that just whoever named it did not know. Like they knew like Loch Ness or Loch Lake. I don't know. It's odd. Ask other bards where the empire rests. There's probably great treasure on her, and on the virtuous too. Yes, but... Oh my goodness, we gotta go... Yep. Drums a bunch. Right, battle. Book. Right, ships. Here we go. So there's a third ship, the Dutchman. Okay. So talk to bards about ships. And now that we know the names of some ships, there's probably great treasure on her. Okay, so we have a full-on lead on the virtuous and other information too. And you said you sing. Southerner from Serpent's Hold. Right, yes. It's a great song, man. But you just sang it. I wasn't trying to get you to sing a whole other song. And how do you know Iolo? Iolo, pardon me. A private man. Well, you take care. It was a pleasure speaking to you, sir. I'm gonna meet this young lady. Oh, Stephanie. How do you know her? We have not been to Serpent's Hold. But I've certainly got the funds to buy a ship next time I pass a shipwright. So the world will open to us a little bit more. Yeah. Hey, Stephanie. I didn't write anything down about Stephanie. Oh well. You recognize my voice? Oh, Steph. She's a healer. Right. Great. Keep looking around. I gotta wrap up here. Not too long from now, but whilst I'm here, I might as well look for a sawmill while I still have the will. Yeah, maybe not so promising. Maybe the sawmill's in Minoc. I don't know. And there's a dock. Oh, no, it's a bridge. Where's it leading? Where's this road go? Huh? More structures. But this is not a sawmill. It's a tiny little place. Oh, excuse me, folks. Going to a brief intermission. The phone's ringing. And we're back. Okay, so here's a dock. Someone on the dock. So let's speak to her. See a voluptuous woman dressed in dark blue velvet over white cloth. Hello there, stranger. Can I help you? Maybe. Who are you? Selena Moorhead. Okay. Selena Moorhead. Very good, very good. And is that an important name? You're a widow now. You live on a cottage on the beach. Oh, that's sad. You're a widow. Husband left me a little money to support myself for a time, but I still like to sew fine clothing. There are a few things as relaxing as embroidering and sitting by the ocean, listening to the surf. So you're a seamstress. You live off the seashore. Always a bit of fish or gull's eggs to eat, with lobster once in a while. You're as carefree as a traveler. What do you think of travelers? They travel the road between Britain and Trinsic. Normally I like them. They're a merry lot. But one time a group of them stole your prized locket. My goodness, stole it. Some are trustworthy and others are scoundrels. I am glad that that is your reaction to being robbed by an individual traveler. I like this, Selena Moorhead. So tell me about this locket. Well, now I'm pissed. And it's got a treasure map in it. Husband's name is Nathaniel. Though he's not a bad husband, I'll always remember him as something of a scoundrel. She smiles, and her lovely eyes sparkle with memories. They say he went down in a storm. He was a pirate. What was his ship called? My husband left me a gold locket wrapped in a piece of an old ship's chart. Maybe that's what you seek. I don't have the locket or the map anymore. Travelers came by one day and stole it. Okay. Okay, and she said I think she's specifically speaking about our traveling prostitute friends. So maybe that's something we'll investigate. It's been really interesting meeting you. My husband Nathaniel was a pirate. He left me a locket with a treasure map, but it was stolen by travelers. Okay. We're getting sidetracked from what we were doing, and that's okay. And that's her little cottage by the sea. And also, phone call that I broke to take was Danielle saying she'll be home momentarily. Bought a lot of groceries. Needs assistance. Bring them in. So, that's my cue to say, all right, this was a productive day's adventuring. We have initiated the Sacrifice Shrine Liberation quest, which requires us next to find a sawmill, and perhaps we'll find one on our travelings, because we've now also picked up a side quest here. There's a shipwright in Britain as well, so I can secure a ship there if I don't want to go all the way back to Minoc to buy a ship. So, things are looking up. Things are going well. We have clues about treasure that can be found all over the place. We got a lot going on, and it's great. I'm having fun with this game. Again, not replacing Ultima 5 in my heart, but it is hitting the spot. I'm enjoying it. Looking forward to playing some more next weekend. But that's what I got for today. And so, thank you all for joining me. If you stuck around to the end, I really appreciate it. If you came and you left, I appreciate that too, even though you can't hear my words. I am reasonably confident that me and my buddy Greg are going to do something Thursday evening, and reasonably confident that Friday Night Forgotten Circles will be relaunching. I got to figure out how to do it in this new place with a different setup. I'm trying to figure out a way to do it in the same place I do this. In the old apartment, I was dragging furniture around, like building a studio every Friday and then tearing it down. I was up late into the evening, late into the night, early hours in the morning. It wasn't great. And then I'll be back next weekend with Star Control 2, where we are on track to get the Cyrene back in the fight. Is it too late to save the galaxy? Possibly, because I did get this going pretty into 2157, but who knows? Anything could happen. So great. Awesome. So that's it. And until the next time that our paths cross, we're all here together again. Take care of yourselves and be kind to everyone you meet.